Totally. Yeah, I mean, our medical industry is fixated by that, isn't it? And you mentioned their cardiology, and I think there's not enough thought, understanding going into the fact that neurons are present in most organs. So we have these multiple brains around the body. I wonder, and I don't know how you feel about this, but I wonder, is science really trying to catch up with spiritual understanding? I get the impression that there are many spiritual teachings that possibly have a better understanding about what's going on up here than science does, because science looks for facts. Science wants, an absolute, which is what's so silly about science sometimes. It wants this kind of categorical sort of absolute answer to it, doesn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. David, you brought up a very important and very exciting topic, science and spirituality. So let's first define what is the purpose of science and what is the purpose of spirituality, and then talk about it. My definition of the purpose of science and purpose of spirituality is the same. They're both of the domain. They're trying to unveil the truth. That's the sole purpose. Science does it in a very objective way, like you mentioned, facts and figures. It's a very objective way. The objective realm comes from our perception of reality. So that is the limitation of science, our perception of reality. So David Hoffman already mathematically showed in his book that this is a simulation, right? I mean, what we see, reality is a simulation. So that is the limitation of science. But science is something, I'm a scientist. I love science. There's no way I'm denying or it's not a show where I'm going to bash science. I'm totally for science. But whenever I'm navigating in a domain, I want to know my limitation. My limitation is my perception of reality. Beyond that, I cannot perceive anything. Now, the objective of spirituality is also to unveil the truth, but in a very abstract manner, which is not understandable, comprehensible by our intellect. It goes beyond our intellect. Now, some people will rightly disregard that. Okay, this is beyond our intellect. That doesn't exist. I understand them, but as a scientist, I think if I say that there's nothing existing beyond my intellect, that's just not a scientific statement, right? That's how I see it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I do wonder, well, I believe, what we have now is something called quantum physics, and quantum physics almost bridges the gap, doesn't it, between science and reality?
Absolutely. Quantum physics almost bridges the gap between spirituality and science, right? I mean, there is so much beyond our intellect that is out there.